Hello guys, welcome to Today Talk. Today we are talking with the amazing marketer uh, Amir, and we will talk about things related to freelancing and marketing at freelancing, how one should approach and all. Uh, the the main issue the people not will understand what is marketing and marketing basically for two for yourself or the product, but here we're talking about the only the like yourself. For example, let's say like freelancer marketing, like sorry, not a freelancer but freelancing, you can say branding something. So what exactly
Yeah.
it is, if you can point out.
Sorry, I just missed that last bit. What was that?
So what is the marketing in the point of view of freelancers, why it is required and what exactly it is.
Okay. So if you're a freelancer, and if you're not marketing yourself, then you're basically going to be invisible to potential customers. So what marketing helps you to do is to get in front of people who might one day buy from you, and you do so in a way that demonstrates the value that you can provide them with. So, depending on what it is that you do, you can demonstrate the positive change that you and your work can make to them and their business. So that, in a nutshell, is sort of what it is and why it's important.
Oh, perfect, perfect. And like marketing is a like one-time process or like it's a continuous process. I build it over the time, or is it like something I hire someone, he is doing for 2 3 months, then he go back, or is it a continuous process? I am freelancing for last 18 years, and for 18 years I have to do a marketing of my work and all.
Yeah, well, I think if you want consistent clients, if you want a queue of people waiting to work with you, if you want financial stability, if you want cash flow, which is a very important thing for freelancers, then marketing has to be an ongoing system. You have to systemize your marketing so that you're doing something every day in an ideal world where you're putting yourself in front of people that either don't know you yet, or you're doing things that deepen and strengthen your relationship with people that already know you. So if you want to get fit and strong, you don't just eat a chicken salad and go to the gym once.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah, yeah.
that's not going to do much for you. What you have to do is make um, eating well and training a habitual part of your life. And if you want to have a healthy freelance business, it's the same thing. You have to make marketing and sales a habitual part of your work.
Okay. And what exactly tools I should use, or like I completely focus on social media, or like how exactly tools will work basically.
Yeah. So the tools are sort of the last thing that we need to consider. And the big mistake that people make is looking at tools or channels or tactics too early in the process. So what what's most important is a strategy or aligning your market. So understanding your market, understanding the kind of messaging that's most likely to um, stand out and be meaningful to them. And then once you've identified those two things, then you can look at the tools. So if you are a freelancer that, say, a freelance designer that's looking to work for agencies, it might be that Instagram is your best bet for that. If you are a freelance financial advisor and you want to work with sort of B2B companies, then LinkedIn will be your best bet. So the tools and the tactics that you use are very much driven by your market and the message that you're trying to put out there. And it's the biggest mistake that I've seen, that I keep seeing almost on a daily basis, is people thinking about the tactics and the channels and social media before they've very carefully identified and aligned their market to their message.
Okay, so I just want to again talk about it. So, for example, I am an Android developer, and I want to looking for a companies who is hiring for the freelancer. So, should I only? So should I only? Sorry, it is my- so should I only depend on or like focus on completely on LinkedIn only? Maybe I can find a good companies founders over the LinkedIn only, or I will diversify my channel of network marketing and networking with the other channel like Twitter, where a fellow developer will hang out, or Reddit. There's a like Reddit is a like what I feel is completely mix of everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a everyone is there, so you cannot only target one specific thing. Or should I write a blog and then focus on? So what strategy? Because everything takes a time, and everything. If I am doing daily basis, even it will take a minimum. What I feel is 6 months or so to grow on a particular medium.
Yeah.
So how one should?
Yeah. So I think if you've got a specific demographic, like say founders of startups that you're wanting to target, yeah, LinkedIn might be a good platform, but also I think reaching out, I think if it's done well, cold email or cold calls could be a good thing as well, because it's very direct, and you can actually, if you do it in the right way, build credibility very quickly on those channels. So there's more to marketing than just social media. um, I do think it's a trap that we fall into by only kind of thinking about social media. You mentioned blogging. I think blogging is a great thing to do if you're putting stuff out there on a regular basis. It's demonstrating your expertise whilst delivering value. So being helpful with the content that you're creating, I think it's a very, very good thing to have that. Or, you know, even a podcast, for example, some kind of content where you're showing that you know what you're talking about, and you're sort of proving that you can do a great job almost without doing it yet. um, because that's, if you look at it from their perspective, if you use empathy to see the world through their eyes, you have to start thinking about, okay, so what's important to them, what problems might they have had hiring people like me in the past, and what can I do to make their life as easy as possible when it comes to hiring me.
Oh, okay. One more thing in a marketing. What is the like end goal of the marketing? Is it like only to connect with? So like what the main issue we faces as a developer, we were think everything in a 0-1 term. Like if we'll do this, we will get this or this. So what, and over the period of time, marketing is not what I feel is not a 0-1 game, and it is something you build a relation, we build a completely build a relation, and then one out of contact and contact me and give me a project and all this. But what will the end goal of the marketing? Like it is only to connect with as much as people, or like it is a building a relationships with them, or is it just putting content over social media and platform and just hoping someone will connect with me, someone will give me a client?
Yeah. So I don't think you should ever do marketing and hope for a result. I think you should do marketing with a specific objective in mind. And if you're not getting that objective, you should sort of optimize and change what you're doing so you get that result. If we think of marketing as a process of getting attention, building trust, and inspiring action to buy, we see that, the last part of that is buy. So I think the point of marketing is fundamentally, at some point in the future, you want the people that you're marketing to buy from you. That is the point. That's why we go about doing any kind of marketing at all. Yes, getting attention is part of it, developing trust and relationships are a part of it, but that's all a means to an end, so that people feel comfortable, happy, and excited to do work with you.
Okay. And one more thing, apart from social media, let put aside the social media thing. What other channel one can explore so to build a relationship and build a trust, and after that getting a client for them. Apart from social media, what do you think?
So yeah, in terms of different channels, there are loads of channels. You've got you could build a YouTube channel, you could have a podcast, you could do email marketing, you can put out ads and push them through to a landing page or a specific page, and then do retargeting to people. You can do leaflets, you can do direct response marketing, you can do cold email, cold calling. I mean, there's lots of different channels and tactics, but they should be informed by your market and your message.
Oh, perfect. And I think one of the last podcast you have been with someone and you're talking about the video, using a video as a marketing. I forget the name of the podcast. And what do you think? Like short-term video is a good thing to connect, or the long form, or the one directly related to technology. For example, I am an Android developer. I should only talk about the Android stuff. But what I personally feel that don't connect with me my business, who give me business. Basically, business like business guy is a manager, HR, or someone, not a developer. So, how one should use a video as a way to connect to their audience or prospective client?
Yeah, so video is a great tool to use as a freelancer because it's scalable. So you can make one video and it can be viewed many times by a countless number of people. I think there's a place for short form and long form video. It comes down to having a well thought out video strategy. I think on social media, definitely keep it nice and short. If you're building a YouTube channel or a blog or a video blog on your website, then you can be sort of longer form. I think the fundamental thing is, I think it's really important for freelancers to be on camera themselves, because when people hire a freelancer, that's you're buying that person. So if you can be familiar, if you can show that you're credible and a smart person that knows what they're talking about through video, then that's going to make the buying process a lot easier. Um, so so I would say video is a great tool to use, but make sure again you're focusing the message towards your specific market, and making sure that you're using the right kinds of video in the right places. So very short videos, social media. If you're building a YouTube channel, which I think is a great thing to do, you can go longer.
Oh, perfect. And like one more thing, eventually that struck is after listening motivational videos, marketing videos, or even reading a blogs or a Twitter and all, I pumped up for the marketing. I start marketing and I work for the 4 weeks and 5 weeks, and then I stop because in a 4 or 5 weeks I didn't get any response from someone. I didn't get any validation about my thought and all, and it is something feel like you are just like going in a deep what deep down, but you're finding nothing. How you kept that motivation of looking like building a network even nothing is working out? What is the main? Even everyone can start. Starting is, I think, easy part, but sustaining it, the marketing thing, it's a bit a hard thing.
Yeah, it's difficult when you're trying to get traction and interest with your marketing, and if you're doing stuff and no one's paying attention. There could be several reasons for that. You have to remember that marketing's a long-term game for like 99.99% of people. And if you know what, so one of the main qualities that you need is persistence. You need to keep doing it on a regular basis, but also you need to make sure that you're actually creating stuff that your market actually wants. So rather than just thinking that something's a good idea, you got to find reasons to make content on specific topics. So you've got to do your research. You've got to make sure that the stuff that you're um, creating is actually going to mean something and stand out to your market. And that's where understanding your market, their struggles, how the benefits of what you do help those struggles, it all matters. Um, One of the things that I've seen with freelancers over the years is because when they get busy, marketing is one of the things that tends to stop happening.
Completely.
So I think building marketing into the structure of your job, yeah,
Okay.
is a really important thing because um, it can be, you know, feast or famine for a freelancer, and that's because they don't have a queue of people waiting to work with
Yeah,
them.
completely.
But and I know it's difficult, but say for example, if every day between, you know, 10 and 11, or, you know, 6 and 7 in the evening is when you book time in to do marketing for yourself. If you're doing the right kind of marketing, you'll never have any problems looking for clients.
Okay. And one more thing, is it like right way to like hire an agency for the marketing, or completely do it yourself only? Like, what is the like
Yeah,
bargaining thing, and what is the
yeah.
point of
So
this?
it will come down to what you're trying to do and also cost as well. Hiring an agency can actually be quite an expensive thing. It might be an idea to hire a virtual assistant to do administrative things, things that are taking up an awful lot of your time, but you can hire somebody inexpensively to do that task for you. Um, yeah, agencies can be fairly expensive. So I would just, if that's something that people have the budget for, then fine, you know, go for it. Although I guess in my experience, I've not really known a freelancer to hire an agency very often, just because it's quite cost prohibitive. So in but you know, then again, I don't know why, you know, you might not need to do that. If you're blogging, that's something you can do for yourself. If you're making a
But
video, it can be done very inexpensively. It's just time is like the most precious thing,
But I
I
think
think,
the
when it comes
main
to
why, like for example, why I will hire the market agencies. I don't want to. I don't have any interest in the marketing. I'm a developer and I don't have a bit of interest in the marketing. And that's when I thought ki, like I don't want to like I know ki you can sit for this 1 hour and just focusing on the market, and you can build something out of it, and just don't do for marketing, just say for the marketing, but it is something not come from within. Like if I'm sitting for 1 hour and I'm not able to good I'm not able to even put a something out there. So I will think, I always think, why don't just I hire the agency? But the main issue, like with the hiring the agency is like, is they put the right content over related to me, or they just create a superficial thing about me over the internet.
yeah, well, that's, you see, that's one of the issues of hiring when you're selling yourself, you are the best person to sell yourself. So when you're a freelancer or even a small business, you have to realize and embrace the fact that you're in the business of sales and marketing. You have to sell and market yourself first, because if you don't do that, you won't get work. And if you do hire someone to do stuff for you, that's the risk you run of having content that doesn't actually reflect who you are. You're your biggest asset as a freelancer. There's no one else like you. You're very distinctive and you're unique. You're one of a kind. So your job is to create marketing that reflects that. And unless you have a huge amount of discovery with an agency where they're interviewing you for a long time and really getting under the skin of things, you're going to struggle getting an external entity to do that. So this is one of the biggest challenges that freelancers have, is whether they're a graphic designer or a coder or a filmmaker or whatever. They're very good technically at what they do, but what they have to become good at is sales and marketing, because without that, they don't get to do the thing that they're really good at.
Completely, completely. And like what I understood from your point of view is like don't go for the uh, agencies because it will be expensive and it will not depict you in a direct manner. Rather, if you are choosing blogging as a medium to connect with the people, even write it and hire some editor or something who can just do your editing things and all. Or if you are going for the video thing, record a video and hire one video editor who will present in a good way.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's a much smarter way of doing it. If you're creating that core piece of content, do you know what? So good. Speaking very tactically now, what you could do is you could speak for 30 minutes, for example, into a microphone about the thing you do, giving hints and tips to your market, and then take that audio and send it to be transcribed. So then you've got a nice long form blog. Take that transcription and send it to a VA to break it up into social posts. Send that to a motion graphics designer who can make some 1-minute videos for social media. Send it to a designer who can make some images for social media. So from one piece of audio, you can create 25 to 30 pieces of content. And what you've done is basically found leverage. Whilst you're doing the most fundamental, important thing, talking about what you're passionate about, what you're an expert in, and then getting other people to support you in breaking it up and putting it out into other kinds of content.
This is a smart idea. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's it for my side. And let me know if you have anything or like you want to ask something or you want to say anything apart from this.
So just to sign off, I'd say just to go over what I think is most important. So if you're a freelancer, you need to embrace the fact that your first job is sales and marketing, in terms of selling and marketing yourself. And it doesn't have to be in a salesy way, and it shouldn't be. It should be in a value-driven, generous way to a specific market who you feel you can help. And then it's about making that a habit and doing it on a regular basis. And if you do that, you'll find over time, if you keep getting better at doing it, that you'll have no problem finding work. In fact, you'll have a queue of people waiting to work with you.
Yeah, this is uh, complete discussion we have. That is a good point. I completely understand. Ki rather than thinking about I'm an Android developer, I think I'm a sales and marketing person for myself rather than whatever the skill someone is doing in and all. That's a completely different perspective. Thank you, Amir, for doing this
Yep.
and scheduling a call and all. Thank you very
No,
much. This
thank you
is
for
it
having me.
from me. Thank you. Bye bye.